And Gerard Filitti, Senior Counsel at the Lawfare Project, is joining us now from New York. Thank you, Gerard, very much for your time. So how does this scheme work? What do we know about the, the nits and bits of this plot?
Well, first, thank you for having me. What we know is that a nonprofit in America set up different accounts to apply for aid from the government under pandemic relief funds. Now, this goes back since the beginning of the pandemic, meaning that they applied for money under the Trump administration and the Biden administration, and they received it. They received $250 million, which is a huge amount of money that was being distributed to people in need to maintain their ability to earn a living and to provide services. Now, I have to add, as someone who works for a nonprofit, it's shocking and appalling that a nonprofit or a purported nonprofit would do this. Everything we need, every dollar that we get goes into providing services for our community. So to see $250 million stolen from taxpayers to line their pockets, to take extravagant trips to Africa, it's disgusting.
It's infuriating, really. I can't think of any more despicable behavior. But what's the legal timetable here? Is there any way they will get out of it, legally speaking?
I very much doubt it. They're entitled to a trial. This is a criminal prosecution. So obviously there is enough evidence of their activities and of their fraud to go forward. They are entitled to put on a defense. Quite frankly, having practiced law for many, many years, I just don't see them getting out of it. It's clear what the money was spent on. It's probably clear that these were not people who had the assets to take extravagant trips or engage in these shopping trips without this money. So obviously there was fraud, and the only question is whether they can make a deal to pay some of it back in exchange for less jail time.
And, haters gonna hate, thieves will be thieves. How can governments and people and other nonprofit funds protect themselves better? Or simply put, how can we minimize loopholes that will facilitate such heinous behavior?
Well, the problem is we need better due diligence when we have applications for aid or when the government is giving out money. Normally, there are mechanisms in place, but let's face it, the COVID pandemic was unprecedented.
Right.
And the government decided we needed to pump money out on a large scale to keep the economy afloat, to keep people able to buy necessities. So there weren't as many checks that were done. We were thinking that, we would worry about the consequences later. We were hoping that people would be honest. Unfortunately, not everyone was. So the only thing we can do better is to make sure that we have safeguards and checks, and we actually verify that money is going to programs that it's meant to be going for.
Gerard Filitti, Senior Counsel at the Lawfare Project, you're always illuminate us, and you're very good at clearing the clutter. So thank you very much for your time and insight as always. Thank you, Gerard.
Always my pleasure. Thank you.